American Innovation Task Force.
Thank you. Wow. What a great honor to receive this task force on American innovation in the presence of all of you. Very humbling to receive it from Craig Barrett, and also with Anna Eshoo here and Mr. Gordon, Chairman of the Science Committee. I accept it and treasure it personally, and will display it with great pride in the Speaker's office. But I also do so in recognition of their great work, both on the Energy and Commerce Committee and Bart Gordon as Chair of Science, as I mentioned. To receive it from Craig Barrett, who has been really a relentless advocate for investments in science, investments in education, STEM, Pell Grants, higher ed, immigration, visas, and the rest. Is a special, special honor. Thank you very much, Craig Barrett, for your leadership and for this honor that you're bestowing on me. And again, to do so in the presence of Norm. He is just, Norm Augustine, what you all did in Rising Above the Gathering Storm really did start all of this. And then Congresswoman Eshoo, Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, and George Miller decided we would have an innovation agenda working with Mr. Gordon. It wasn't intended to be a Democratic initiative. We really had hoped that it would be bipartisan, and it did become so after a while. But we traveled the country, listened to people's views, whether it was scientists, academics, otherwise, students, venture capitalists, where would the money focus? We wanted to have a major investment in science and innovation that was market-oriented, that would increase our competitiveness in the world. And with the input of so many of you in this room and many others, we were able to have our innovation agenda. And as Craig said, it was overwhelmingly, in terms of the Competes Act, overwhelmingly passed in the House, but with no money. And so everybody said, that's interesting, but show me the money. So in any event, first chance we got, that's what we did. When we had not only a majority, but we had a president in the White House who would sign the bill. On the steps of the Capitol on Inauguration Day, the president said he was going to turn science to its rightful place and that science was back. And that was good news for the future. Any country that does not invest in science is not investing in the future. We know that. And as Craig said, the words that describe our agenda: science to protect our country, our national security; science to grow our economy, be innovative, be number one in the world, competitive, number one, be first; science to have health care for all Americans. What we talk about, you talked about the health sciences and the research at NIH, but really none of the success would have been possible without the improved instrumentation that was part of the physical science investments that were made. And that alone is important, but it's not enough. You know, there's plenty other reason for us to make these investments. And the final one I'll mention is climate change. We are, our planet is in jeopardy. Science is the answer. We know that. And the investments in the physical sciences are going to take us to a place where we, again, protect our country, provide for the health care of our people, be number one innovatively and competitively in the world, and again, preserve God's beautiful creation. And I say that because we have evangelicals helping us now with that. We have scientists and evangelicals at the table. It used to be you had to choose between faith and science, and now we say science is an answer to our prayers. So whether, and let me just say that with Mr. Gordon's leadership, we were able to do so many things, whether it was the NIST, the National Science Foundation, even issues that related to education. Mr. Miller deferred to the Science Committee so that we didn't get held up on it. So the two bookends were initiatives at the Department of Energy as well. So we had two bookends: the recovery package at the very beginning of the year, 1 week and 1 day after the president asked for this innovation and these investments in science. Congress did just that. And you know why we could? Because we were ready. We were ready because of all the input we had from all of you, all the leadership that you had provided. We were ready. And then the other end of that bookend, for the first 100 days, on the 100th day, we passed in the House and the Senate the budget, which had the blueprint for how we go forward with some initiatives in between. But it is, I just came back from China. I was there for 1 week and saw what they are doing in terms of science and innovation and the rest. And we really have to increase our own investments. We can work together in the world with other countries, with China and the rest. But we have to be number one. We must be in the lead. And that can only happen because we have the education of our children, the training of our teachers so that they can teach math and science, very important, thank you, and the private sector that is attracted to our public policies because it's about innovation. So it's not about us doing it all. It's about us making the investments in science, but also giving the incentives for the private sector to play its role so that it will have that entrepreneurial spirit that is all American, that it will have the public-private partnership that's started at the beginning of our country. So as we invest in science in the future, we are honoring the tradition of our founders. And President Kennedy said it best. He said a lot of things best. But when he launched the man to the moon safely and back, he said, if we honor the vows to our founders, we must be first, and therefore we intend to be first. We intend to be first, and therefore we will be first because of all of you. Thank you so much. I'm so honored by this award. Thank you.
If you get this right in the center with a picture, and you hold the plaque up and go in the center.
Let me say how relentless Congresswoman Eshoo has been on this funding. I mean, relentless. She has a memo an hour. And not only that,